I imagine putting together sort of a compilation of shorts like this is kind of tough to balance the different tones. Did they shift at all? Like you would make a short and then maybe the title or the letter would sort of move around?
Yeah, well, I guess mine's a good example. Originally, I asked for the letter N because me and my friends were really on this like big nunchuck kick. We were just slanging nunchucks like every day, and I really wanted to do a short about nunchucks. But we couldn't really get it together, and so originally mine was called N is for Nature. But then they wanted to kind of, when they got all the shorts in, they wanted to kind of even out the flow, so they asked us if we would go near the end. So.
Yeah, in one of the films they said something about $5,000 budget. What was it actually for the film, or was there set amount?
It was
yeah.
It was $766,000 for each of the shorts, but they required us to go to a small island and just to do a lot of drugs. And then they just flew us around on some weird kind of jet that we had to pay for the oil, and then the budget, so that it became $5,000.
Did they, so it's Ant Timpson and Tim League are the producers. Did they put any other sort of like restrictions or guidelines on you guys, or?
No, I mean, it was pretty much just, you know, whatever everybody wanted to do. I mean, like, I think they told us to try to keep it between like 4 to 6 minutes or something like that. It was really vague. Like, they gave us a sheet, but it was never like creatively restricting at all, you know, like. I mean, like, I remember checking in with them to make sure that, like, we weren't doing something exactly like somebody else, and that was the extent of that.
But I was doing a similar meta film. They were like, yo, there's one that's just like yours, but it's Q. I was like, but it's like ours end up going in different paths. So they were like, just make sure yours is different. I was like, all right. Because none of us saw any of each other's films. Like, until the premiere. Like, you guys, a bunch of people went to the Toronto Film Festival and were like, oh, that's that letter. None of us knew what any of the other people's films were, so it was fun.
As filmmakers, what did you find to be the most challenging part of this whole process in doing these shorts?
To me, it was very, very difficult because I never made a short film. Actually, I made like feature films condensed in 30 minutes, the most I could, you know, the most time I could take each time, because I wanted to make feature films, not shorts. So this was the first time that I actually tried to make something, you know, specifically for, and I think mine is actually the longest one. So yeah, I think I did that.
Yeah, for Q, I guess it was really just technical issues, because we just had it was like a quick 3 or 4 day shoot, and we flew a lot of our friends in to do it, so like all of our money basically went into stuff like that, and gas, and, you know, just all these like technical things. I think we still ended up over budget, but
how many people went over budget?
Yeah. I think we all spent our own money on this film, actually. But like ours, like the desert area we were shooting at, there was like, it was like some sort of like Area 51 thing. We saw like these stealth bombers flying overhead, so like they were just like ruining our shots. It was like they were on like a cycle that day. Like every like 15 minutes a plane would fly overhead. And that was kind of a pain in the ass. And I guess the other thing was that the duck would actually not quack, and that was kind of frustrating. Like it wouldn't do anything. Like the one shot you see it bite me is actually just a little puppet, because the duck just sat there. It literally refused to do anything.
You have to squeeze it really hard.
Yeah.
I'm kind of ashamed of this story, but I guess it would be like the most challenging part of it was that I wanted the deer to kind of feel like it was alive, and so all I had was this stuffed deer head, and I wanted to get a shot of it running, and my like uncle like overheard me like pitching this to my dad, and he was just like, you know, just up the road there's a place where the city keeps all their roadkill. You could just like go up there and like cut off the legs of a dead deer and use those, and so like I don't know, I grew up in a family of hunters, and like I could never kill a deer myself, but we went up there to like check it out, and there was just like animal carcasses all over the place, and there was this like one deer that like obviously looked like he had just been like eaten by a bear. And so we're there, and it's like in the middle of the woods, and it's terrifying because you could just feel something like watching you. And so we we got down and dirty with it and got some feet off this deer, and I put them in my freezer, and I thought we were going to shoot, and I thought, oh man, I gotta unthaw those things if I want them to look like they're moving, and so I put them in my car, and I turned it on and I put the heat up, and we're shooting, and I forgot all about it, and 3 hours later, I thought of it because we're coming up on the shot, and I just yell at my brother. I'm just like, you gotta go get those deer legs. And sure enough, my car, it still smells of rotten flesh pretty much. But yeah, that was definitely the weirdest thing I've ever done for a movie.
That sounds pretty standard for filmmaking. Yeah, it seems like overall the filmmakers here have really, with the limited means and sort of boundaries that they were given, have gone above and beyond, and you guys all did a fantastic job, so we applaud you for the effort. Unfortunately, I think that's about all the time we have for today's Q&A, but thank you guys so much for coming out and sharing with us. ABC's The Deaf Filmmakers, ladies and gentlemen.